Mic check, coffee check. This is Ace.
And this is Ivan. And this is no decaf. Good morning, fam.
The people love us. You hear that? Damn.
The people. The artificially made people.
Good morning, fam. How you feeling, fam?
How you feeling today, man?
It's a new day. I'm feeling good. Nothing to be too sad about. Indoors, you can only be so happy indoors.
I'm having a blast indoors. I don't know about you. This is fun as hell.
Crazy.
What? Nah, am I the only one?
Got my coffee with me.
Oh, man.
Right now, at this moment, feeling pretty good.
It feels
just
great.
has coffee.
Yeah. This is a nice morning. This is a very nice morning. We're fully stacked today. We have a bunch of shit to talk about.
Which means we're going to give you about 30 minutes of content.
Yeah. We're going to breeze right through these topics. We got shit to do, goddamn. Nah, I'm bullshitting. Alrighty. First things first. Music.
This is episode, before we get into that, this is episode 4, by the way.
Yeah. This would be episode 4. We obviously named the episode. Like, it all depends.
Once it's recorded.
Yeah, once it's recorded, we'll probably name it something that's relevant to what the topics were today. But it's just like, you've probably noticed it, that all the episodes have something relevant in their title name. But anyways, music. We have a lot of singles dropping. We also have a couple of albums, if I'm not mistaken. And
I think just one.
Just one album?
Or at least just one worth talking about from what I can see right now.
Yeah. And it's actually pretty dope. Basically, the album that we're talking about would be Big Sean's Detroit 2 album with that one record. Well, we only know one record, and, it's actually it's the record with Nipsey Hussle. And it's, mind you, it's also great.
I think it's called Deep Reverence.
Deep Reverence. I haven't heard it because I don't like listening to singles because I know what usually singles are supposed to do. They're supposed to kind of galvanize the troops, kind of get you hyped for what's coming in the album. Holy crap. And you'd be like, the single's the only thing worthwhile in this. Not saying that's that's the case with Big Sean's album, but that's what usually a single is supposed to do. It's supposed to be that hook that gets you to buy the album.
Has a lot of features from what I can see.
Dope.
Dom Kennedy, Lil Wayne, T Grizzly, Cash Doll, Diddy, Young Thug,
What is
Hit Boy,
Cash Doll doing in there?
Ty Dolla $ign, Gene, Nipsey, Post Malone, and a couple of others I'm not mentioning.
I like it because I've always... This is weird. We might spiral into another conversation from this.
That's fine.
But it's... Big Sean, to me, has always been a lot better on features than he is on his own shit.
Why do I feel like that's something that everybody says?
He's always been great on features, and I don't know why he kills features. And then, I listen to his albums, and I'd be like, yo, where was Looking for Trouble, Big Sean? Where was he that? Where was he on Detroit versus Everybody? That Big Sean is the one that I've always wanted on. But, he on a, Blessed, which was actually his, with Kanye and Drake. That one was pretty dope. But then, it's so sporadic. I don't know why. Why is it that I don't think he does it I don't think it's premeditated. I think he just goes, okay, I'm on a song, I'm on a feature with a bunch of great people. Let me kill this shit and stand out. But then when you go back to your own shit, it's
So you're saying he doesn't kill his own shit?
No. I'm saying that.
But are you talking more of just rapping, verse wise? He doesn't kill his own shit. Or
I
just
think
his songs in general
verse.
I
think verse wise. No. This is most of the songs I like. I like him and I think they're cool songs. But verse wise, I've always found that his best verses are always on other people's tracks.
I don't know. I feel like early Big Sean did something for me. Don't get me wrong. I'm definitely listening to this album.
It's really.
I hope it's really good. I hope it's good. To be honest, I hope it's really good.
Yeah, it's kind of disheartening because at one point in time, I had Big Sean to be the next crop of top 5 greats to come from that era, from J. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake was already established by this point in time, but it was J. Cole,
Yeah, but he's
Kendrick.
still part of that generation.
Yeah,
That's
he
who
is
you
still
pit
part
him.
of it,
That's
yeah.
like those are his peers. That
Yeah.
you thought they would be. That was supposed to be the Mount Rushmore. It was supposed to be Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, and Big Sean.
Correct. And I don't know what happened along the way. So it's disheartening. And again, this isn't Big Sean hate. It's just it's strange.
I still think he's nice. I still think
Yeah,
he's nice. It's just
this isn't an MC thing. Like, this isn't a rapping attack. Like, we're not attacking his ability. We're attacking his, I would say, his production. We're attacking just the way he's gone throughout the trajectory of his career. It's not really like if I would ask anybody right now, does Big Sean have a classic album? You can throw out an album, but I don't think it would be a classic. Like any of them. Again, not Big Sean hate. We like Big Sean up here. But
we're gonna listen to this one, and I advise anybody listening to go out and check. Don't go out. You have your phone with you. Stay inside. Social distance. Wear your mask. Don't breathe on anybody. Even when you're having sex, don't be breathing all hard. That's nasty. But yeah, when you can, check out Detroit 2.
Definitely. I'm definitely gonna and we'll have like I won't call it an in-depth analysis.
But we'll definitely come
we'll
in here and be
definitely
like, we
come
liked
out
it or
and
we
talk
didn't
about
like it.
Yeah, and we'll say
We're never gonna be the people to say that album unless it's like really bad. I just don't believe in saying, well, that
and even when it sucks, I'll probably be like, you know what?
It's not for me.
Like, I'm gonna give you a chance, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna talk bad about it.
I just don't think that there's always somebody, even if it's one person, there's always gonna be somebody that's like, you know what? I rock with this. Yeah. I like this. So I don't believe in saying something is trash, but unless it's like it has to be superbly bad.
You know what? Also, what I've learned, and this is just added to my basically my album grading process. I think I mentioned it. I think it was first episode, how in different places, music in different places has different effects on you.
Yeah, of course.
So
yeah.
that was part 1, but part 2, which is what I'm gonna say now. Some music hits different depending on where you are in your life.
Yes,
as well.
But that's what you're referring to is maybe more so time and maybe situation. But
time in your life and like where you are, like for example, age.
But I think it's a whole bunch of little things too. I think place. Like, remember what we were talking about last episode about Jaden Smith's album? Mm-hmm. I think at the beach with your girl or with your little ting next to you. I can't believe I just said ting out loud to the public. When you got your thing next to you, your ting, whatever you want to call it, I think you could let the album rock. I think you'd be fine with that playing in the background. Conversation, having a good time, on your way to the beach, at the beach. It's like I said, it's very summary vibes. So I think the exact place, like your environment at that time also plays a big deal.
My bitch better be ready for some deluxe at the beach. Some hard ass shit.
You're trying to be romantic, you're trying to keep it all hood.
I had the heater on me, like what?
She looks at you confused. You look at her like, you know what's up.
Yo, you know what's up. I'm trying to gangbang at the beach. But it's, oh my God. But yeah, that's basically the point. Different in your life at different times in different places, music is going to hit different. And I just noticed that because I was thinking about this because I think Nipsey's last album, Victory Lap, if I wasn't like working so hard on my shit, it might have hit different. Besides the fact that I think that's a great album, you guys should go listen to that as well. But Nipsey has always had that hustle motivation, like, and he like really doubled down on it in Victory Lap. When he did it, and at that particular point in my life, I was really working hard. It was like school, doing different creative things, music, and like a whole bunch of stuff. At that particular point in time, it hit different. So that's the reason why I brought it up. But anyways, make sure you guys go and listen to Detroit 2, Big Sean's album. We're definitely going to be listening to it. We're also now going to talk about the new singles. And there's a lot of them. There's like a whole crop of new singles. And we're going to talk about basically a very particular single that we actually kind of like at the same time, but it's a little strange. It's a little strange for us because we've loved this woman for a very long time.
Yeah, but hold on before we get into that, because we're not gonna necessarily talk about the other singles. We're just gonna,
Oh yeah, we're gonna
like,
mention them in passing.
the Trenches song that Monica was mentioning on the
versus battle. If you didn't watch
that's
it, go watch
out.
it.
SZA has one with Ty Dolla $ign called "Hit Different." Saweetie has one with Post Malone, the Baby, and Jack Harlow. I can't wait till all these men just come out the woodwork and whoop your ass.
Is this a single?
Oh, SZA, I'm sorry. I thought you said Saweetie. My bad.
Oh no, Saweetie.
I almost got you into trouble there.
SZA single. Well, what my knowledge is.
Lil Durk got one. Brian Tiller resurfaced.
Yeesh. What happened to that dude?
Hey, Boogie got one. Vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom. So, A Boogie, SZA, Saweetie, Durk, and who else?
And Monica.
So that's a lot of singles. If you guys like any of those artists, please check them out. But there's one single that we're not mentioning.
Well, we are mentioning.
We are going to mention it right now, but we just didn't mention with that crop. And this because this single is Joyner and Ashanti.
Oh, I am green with envy.
Super jealous.
So I don't know what this is. I don't know if it definitely sparked its own little relationship.
It was trending top 3.
But I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just a video. It seems like it might be just a video. Like it's nothing. But who knows? I mean, I don't know either of them.
I always fucked with Joyner's. Like Joyner might be the best mind when it comes to hip hop. Again, I'm not comparing him to older people. I'm talking about his generation.
Why do you say that?
The way he does his videos, like everything is impactful. Everything correlates. Everything is from a creative standpoint. Like if you go to "I'm Not a Racist," that was a really dope video and a really dope concept that has never done before. He does make you think. He did the Devil's Worth.
At the very least, he wows you because the video, the Will Smith video, what's it called?
Will.
Oh, well, yeah, well, Will. I think it was great.
It was a great
just
video.
Going from scene to scene, from movie to movie.
Yeah. So it's like he does that, and then he does this now with Ashanti, and it sparked like, oh my God, are they in a relationship? Yo.
Listen, we're singing big.
They made
Joyner's
they made
praises.
out like fam.
We're singing his praises, and he's great. But I'm not feeling this man. Why? Why don't I get to make out with Ashanti? I mean, I get it. He's successful. Probably has way more money than I do. Taller than I am. But, I mean.
It was a great video. And we love Ashanti.
We do love
Ashanti's another person that owns an era in our lives.
That's a dub, though. That is a dub.
Yeah, that's a come up.
It's not really a come up, but it is a dub.
That's the type of come up. I call it a come up. You know why? Because all of his exes are like shit. Because Ashanti,
but even still, that's
looks
still a dub.
Amazing. Ashanti's been looking amazing since like
forever.
Yeah. Ashanti's been amazing ever since we laid our eyes on her, and still to this day, Ashanti looks amazing.
All I'm saying is that if they're not in a relationship and she needs to do another music video where she does something like this, I'm always open. I will move things around for Ashanti.
Move things around.
Oh yeah, and that's no disrespect because if they are in a relationship, that might.
And do you know what the worst part is? It's not the worst part. It's the best part. The song is actually really good. I really like that song. Her vocals on the background, if I'm not mistaken, those are her vocals in the background, singing the chorus. Or the hook. I hate saying chorus, but the hook. It's a really good song. And again, the fact that it's a really good song and it ties. He's also releasing an EP, by the way. He's releasing an EP later on this year. I apologize, not this year, this month. It's a really good song, and then when you tie in the creative visuals to it. And that is where I get that Joyner might be the best mind in his class when it comes to just creativity. Just creativity. Like, I don't know if you remember when he went up to Everyday Struggle and he talked about how Logic stole the concept of the Suicide song.
I remember.
And it's like fam, if other dudes got to copy you because you got great ideas, then yeah, you a beast when it comes to this type of shit. So yeah, big ups to Joyner. I like the song a lot. I think the visuals are amazing. I'm super jealous the fact that you got to make out with Ashanti, who's
basically what we're saying is congratulations, but we really hate you. Like a lot.
You trash, bro.
Yeah,
You trash.
man.
But yeah, shout out to Ashanti for looking amazing since early 90s. Shout out to Joyner. I hope that you're...
Early 90s? No, you're stupid. You mean early 2000s?
I apologize, yeah. Early 2000s.
Early
God
90s,
damn,
we were
early
like
90s.
I was barely walking early 90s.
Yeah, Ashanti can't be that much older than us. And I'm going to leave that right there.
Yeah, let's not discuss a woman's age. They don't like that. They don't like
oh, my God. I dodged the bullet on that one. All right, so we're going to get into a more spicy topic, a more kind of, it's strange at the same time, because how do you even do this? But a topic that's closer to the New York bias side, Ferg. Our guy, Ferg, because Ferg is dope.
We love Ferg.
We love Ferg up here.
Line up the flex. Nah, I'll stop. Keep going.
That's one of his best songs. He is no longer, according to ASAP Ills, if I'm not mistaken, that is how you pronounce it. He is no longer part of ASAP. And
ASAP mob.
If you don't know, obviously ASAP Ferg, ASAP Rocky, ASAP Ills, ASAP Yams, ASAP, like the whole ASAP crew. Shout out to you guys. You guys have a whole crop of really, really dope people. Why I guess this is my question. According to what I've read and what the post was, he said that he was washed out and the music is trash. This is what ASAP Ills says.
I don't know these people. I mean,
yeah, by the way,
I know of them.
We know of them. We don't know them personally.
Rocky, big fan of ASAP Ferg, obviously. I don't know the rest of them like that. Never heard their music.
Mm-hmm.
So
Same
I don't
here.
know what's going on within that camp, but I'm pretty sure he said that, but there's probably something deeper that we don't know about.
Yeah, it's sometimes it could be like that. I don't know. They're all from New York. I wouldn't imagine them to like mince words. Like he could have been like, "Yo," but he literally just put, "He's washed out."
I'm not trying to
washed up, and he's music.
I'm not trying to create narratives or paint any like certain pictures of people because once again I don't know them. So, but the way my brain works is, as much as I love my man's and I want his come up and I want to see him doing good and I wish all the success in the world for him, like nobody that tells you they don't also want that for themselves, that person is lying. And I guess him being one of the, if I read correctly, one of the founders or one of the, basically he has the ability, like he can. I don't know if it's because he's the founder or he's the original. I don't know what it is. But if I'm the leader of a group, and this is the way my head works, I'm not saying this is the case. If I'm the leader of a group and my people's are doing better than I am, I'm a little bit salty. Just a bit.
That's a human thing.
Exactly. Like, imagine 50 wasn't 50, but Lloyd Banks and Buck were out here going crazy.
Even
50 would be a bit salty.
Just a bit.
Right?
Yeah.
But then, once again, that's just an example. I'm just giving an example. Because that's the way humans work. So, all I'm saying is, I don't know. I believe that it goes a bit deeper than what the post about him, his songs being, what was it? Like that he was
washed up.
Yeah.
Songs are trash.
I'm not saying that it's what I'm saying it is. That's just how my brain works. I'm not saying that that's what it is. I'm not saying he's salty. I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying it could be something deeper than what he put up on the internet. Something we don't know
what
about.
he put up on the internet
something we might
just
never
be
know
surface.
about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe that's just personal to them. That's their private stuff.
Yeah. And that's their family, and we understand that too. And, you know, there might be a little bit of turmoil. But I think, and this is where
people online were saying, we don't even know who y'all is.
This might rub people the wrong way. And this is just how my brain works. You're going to kick out the most active member? And people, and
he really is the most active.
He's
member
the
right
most
now,
active
Rocky
member.
Is like
that's my point. So out of anything you don't kick out Rocky.
Worry about being fly. That's what Rocky's work.
Rocky hasn't released music in a long ass time. And not that he hasn't released music. He hasn't released an album in a very long time.
How long
He
has it
hasn't been on.
What hasn't been? Well,
He hasn't been on notable features in a very long time. We're talking about a person.
Years?
I think so. It might be a little bit more than that.
ASAP Rocky's last album. I think it was 2018. I could be wrong.
ASAP Ferg is not only an artist, he's also a designer for I don't know for them, but he's a designer. He does all types of fashion shit. Like ASAP Ferg is out here.
Yeah. And the last one was Testing. You
Yo.
remember? Yeah, you do, because you would listen to it with me in the car.
Oh, okay. I'll take your word for it.
2018.
I'll take your word for it. But if you're gonna kick out anybody, again, nothing against Rocky, but you can't kick out you shouldn't kick out the most active member that gets more noise or gets more attention than everybody else. That's just my level of thinking.
But
I don't know.
To be honest though, as much as I love Ferg and as active as much as I can see that Ferg is active,
yeah,
I still like Rocky better.
I like Rocky too.
Rocky's just, there's something about knowing that you should be in a studio, but you're too busy getting fly.
You're too busy.
The last
dope song that I heard him on, wasn't it the song about the shoes? With not with Cudi, with Frank Ocean, that Frank Ocean raps.
Oh, the Raph Simmons song?
There we go.
I don't think that song is not. It's not. He doesn't just do shoes. I think he does. I think he's a designer in general.
I don't know, but I'm not buying Raph Simmons or whatever they're called.
That is because you're broke. I'm only kidding. He has mad money.
It depends on who you ask.
Not just get your shit off so you got mad money. Nah. For the ladies, go ahead.
For the ladies, I'm super broke. All you guys get is hard dick and bubblegum, ladies.
You heard it here first.
And now to finish up the Ferg topic. Fam, let's say they never resolve anything. Let's say nothing ever happens. Let's say they both go their separate ways. Ferg has worked himself. Like, that's the best part about working like yourself and knowing and creating your brand and creating who you are as a person. He has worked himself into a position where, yeah, go ahead. Kick me out of this goddamn group. Take the 4 letters off my name. Take these goddamn letters. Like, what? What? Ferg has worked himself in terms of just fashion, in terms of doing his designer shit, in terms of just music and features. Ferg has worked himself into a great position. Who gives a fuck about these goddamn letters? What's as soon as possible?
I'm pretty sure he knows people will still look for him.
And I'm talking crazy now. But he knows, like I said, that is the best part, because Ferg knows that he'll still be out here, even if he's not ASAP Ferg anymore. He'll be Ferg, and he'll still be a person who has a great work ethic and just gets busy on features and on just music in general, because I've always fucked with Ferg's music.
You say that, and it made me think that most of the time, I just call him Ferg. I don't even call him ASAP Ferg.
I think it's too much work.
You are one lazy man, so you have no money and you're lazy.
But yo, I am damaged goods.
But you're tall, so that helps.
Yeah, well, you know how women are. Why women always want a tall dude? Your pops is 5'1".
You know what the crazy part is? I've noticed this. The women that are let's not call it normal, because the word normal makes it seem like the other heights are weird. Let's say average height.
Yeah.
Let's say the average women is 5'4", 5'5", around there, maybe even 5'6",
5'2", 5'3", 5'4".
It's those women that have a problem with it. Taller women like 5'8", 5'9", have no problem usually with short men.
That's the funny
Don't get me wrong. They would probably like to have a man of their stature.
Correct.
Physically, like as tall as they are. But they usually don't make such a big deal about it. And then the short women are just happy to get what they can get. They're like, oh, he could be 5'3", 5'4". He's towering over me. It's the average. It's the ones in the middle. The average size women from 5'4" to 5'6". They have that, like, no, he has to be 6'11".
What?
On the same page, man. Living on minimum wage.
Fam, I'm on food stamps. What's a minimum wage? Jokes, just jokes. Speaking about broke, did you hear what 50 said?
50 gonna whoop your ass.
Oh, fam, yo. Oh, that's a crazy segue. Oh man,
50, if you're listening,
oh Jesus
this
Christ.
man is a wankster.
I
I've always rocked with you.
Oh man, yo, 50 Cent said some. I wouldn't call it flagrant, because if anything, he's probably the only person that should be allowed to say this.
Yeah, there's somebody who's allowed to feel like this. It's 50 Cent. He has all the right. In the
Definitely,
world.
definitely.
It's him.
Few people could probably say this and get it off. But he said he would like to forget G-Unit. This was in a conversation with DJ Wu Kid. And he was basically saying that he wouldn't want let me say it like this. I am imagining that from a business perspective, a creative perspective, I imagine that I would see how he looks at G-Unit as a failure.
Yes and no. You can't go 2 or 3 years making hit after hit, selling 4 million copies on one of your albums, and then I get it. It went downhill, tapered off. It wasn't the same as it was in the beginning, but I wouldn't call it a failure. At least in the beginning, you exceeded expectations.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a
You
failure.
gave Yayo a hit.
Well, there you go.
You gave Yayo a smash. It was like a charting single. I want to get into like the deeper psyche. Like 50 Cent is one of these minds that I would just like to like sit down and talk to. From a creative perspective, not from any other like type of street perspective. I would like to just dig into his mind and see where exactly he like comes up with some of these concepts and some of these things. 50 Cent, it might be just a creative genius that we just don't give enough credit for. But I'm sorry.
My take is that when he said that, he didn't say it from a business standpoint. He didn't say it thinking with his head. I think he said that, as weird as this may sound, he said that from his heart. I think emotionally, he hasn't dealt with that. I think that G-Unit just brings him bad memories and it makes him sad because of how it ended. Because, I mean, those were his mans, right?
Yeah.
That was his group. He was bringing them up. But even if he denies, these are grown men, so we're not going to say they loved each other like that. But not that grown men can't love each other. They can. But I don't think 50 Cent is ever going to come out and say, oh, I love the Yayo. I don't think that's just never going to happen.
And that's his man's.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you're nurturing something and you put your faith in it, and on top of that, they're already your peoples, there was love there.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing it fail and seeing these relationships broken, once again, I'm not there. I don't know. This is just me. These relationships being broken, I think that hurts him. And I think that G-Unit brings him bad memories. And I think those memories overpower all the success they had in the beginning.
Y'all were the Black Beatles. They put that on a magazine cover for you guys. Y'all were the Black Beatles. I get where he comes from, and I do understand that also. He wrote it in the book. It wasn't really a diss, but it was a slight towards Lloyd Banks. He's like, Lloyd Banks could have been the biggest artist on the planet if he just worked harder, kind of thing. Which, again, that might be a knock in some people's eyes, but it also is, it's two things can be right. That is a knock, but that's also true. Lloyd Banks being as secluded as he is, Lloyd Banks not maybe participating in tours or doing things like that, and as great as an MC, as great as a rapper as Lloyd Banks is, because Lloyd Banks at one point in time, let me remind you guys who Lloyd Banks is. At one point in time, Banks was top 3 lyrically, like just straight up, it was him, Cassidy, like it was a small crop of people that were just universally recognized as people you shouldn't fuck with because their pen was just that great.
And you mentioned Cassidy, but I don't even think he belongs in that conversation. He was like, I don't think he had nowhere near the success that.
Oh, no. So, in terms of success, no, I don't think so. But
I mean, with the pen thing,
pen.
Cassidy rapping, like just. It makes me smile because I think back at what was that, 2006, 2005, 2004? All those Cassidy radio freestyles that make us go crazy.
Yeah. It was a whole vibe and a whole era. But it's that, and that's the thing with 50, because 50 is like I guess for his guys, he wanted more because he believed that they could do more. But because of life situations, because of lack of work ethic, because people going away, like it's just like I think that's what stems into the bad memory category, because he's like, fam, I put it all. And he said it in the interview too. He was like, I could have done it like Kendrick does it. Kendrick doesn't have any of TDE whenever he performs. Nobody in TDE goes up when Kendrick performs.
Yeah.
Kendrick is, we're part of the same group, but fuck that. He's on stage by himself.
He was really trying to put them on.
Yeah, and he was dead ass, really, really, really trying to put on G Unit. And he tried, and he succeeded for the most part. That's the crazy part.
And that's what I'm gonna get back to. Like, we keep saying he tried, but he did.
He did.
G Unit was big. They had merch. They like their whole, well, not merch, their clothing line.
They had a clothing line. Each and every one of those rappers had. You know when I thought it got really corny, when he started adding everybody and their mother. Mace was part of G Unit at one point. Like everybody, like do you remember that Mobb Deep was part of G Unit at one point?
I remember.
Oh, rest in peace, Prodigy. Jesus Christ. But yeah, that's when I started thinking, I was like, okay, this is going too far. But when it was the original 4 members, when it was 50, Lloyd, Yayo, and Buck, that was great.
No, but even with Game,
Game,
that's what ruined it. When Game left, I think when you're in a group and 2 people argue, it could be 5 people, and 2 people argue, some of that gets into other people. I'm not saying that
some of the venom kind of stems into...
Yes, and it brought something in them like, well, he got his shit off. Why don't I tell him how I really feel too? Or also, so when they argued, he said that he's not getting paid enough. I wonder how much he's getting paid. It sounds like, well, that little bit that he thinks he's getting paid, that's more than what I'm getting paid. And this is just me giving an example. I'm not saying that that's what happened. But when there's a
tift,
that's not the word I want to use, but
an issue,
pretty much. When there's an issue in a group, it could be between 2 people, but when it's had with the group around, I think that creates problems with the other members too, even if they didn't have anything to do with the original issue.
That's facts. I have a hot take, and I just thought about this.
Give it to me.
Should Game be glorified for helping aid the end of G Unit, or should we hold it up against his legacy for being part of the end of G Unit?
Well, no, I don't know why you would say why would you glorify putting an end to something like that? I don't think
it depends on who you ask.
I don't think you have to do either, because I think if it was his intention, then maybe. But I don't think that was his intention. He had what he had with 50. He left. I think that
and started the deterioration of the group.
Yes, but what I'm saying is it wasn't.
You should hold that as a knock to somebody.
But it wasn't premeditated. He didn't plan for this to have to go down like that. He left the group because he had his problem. He didn't say, "I'm gonna leave this group and destroy it."
I don't know if you go around like switching stuff and it never works out and you're just destroying. Not saying that Game does this, but if you go and something great ends because of your hand, I think that should also be held as a knock to you. But some people might be like, yeah, fuck G Unit, and hold it as we're going to glorify Game for speaking the truth and destroying something that was toxic in nature or whatever.
I don't think you should vilify him or glorify him because there was no intention. I feel like if he would have put a plan in motion, then you could be like, well, there was intent there. You could glorify him. You could say, wow, look how he just destroyed a tight-knit group, or what seemed like a tight-knit group, because of the departure of a member, disbanding or starting
this bandment,
just goes to show that maybe it wasn't that tight knit.
Yeah,
it's sad though to think about when you think about just the hits they had to get, like Stunt 101. I remember I hit Stunt 101 I just loop it. It would just be on repeat.
You know what? Also, I would also say this, and yes, you are right. Stunt 101, that beat is amazing. That is an amazing beat. Lord have mercy. I would also say this when it comes to G Unit. Beefing with so many people also doesn't have a positive view. Like 50, okay, so this is where I have to give 50 credit in terms of just, I wouldn't say, would I say bad business? Or would I say bad, like just bad
You
association?
can't really give him credit for bad business.
Well, I have to give him something. I have to vilify him. I don't know what the word might be. I'm drawing a blank here, but I have to hold, okay, here it is. I have to hold 50 Cent accountable.
There we go.
Beefing with someone is one thing. Beefing with half of New York City, Rick Ross in Miami, Wayne in Louisiana, like at one point in time, there was more beefs than there was members in G Unit.
Are you saying that 50 Cent's head got too big?
I think his head has always been super big, but then again, like, how can your head not get big when you shoot from Queens all the way up to super duper 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 stardom, working with Dr. Dre and Eminem?
I mean,
And having your first debut album being one of the greatest albums of all time.
Absolutely.
And then your preceding albums would be top tier albums as well.
But still, 50, don't hate us.
Don't hate us. We're just having a conversation.
His head, to me, it's his expectations got too big. 50 Cent got so big, not his head. His head didn't get big, but I'm just him as an artist. 50 Cent got so big that his expectations grew with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I don't know 50, but it seems like 50 Cent expected even people who weren't necessarily his friends or who knew him like that to take his side in everything. If he was beefing with somebody, he expected that person to be an outcast of hip hop, like out of the culture. Don't fuck with him. Don't fuck with them. Don't fuck with that camp. It's just because I don't fuck with them.
Which is
insane. That your head can get so big that you
and to believe that you have that level of power.
And
you did it one time.
Once again, this is my take. I'm not saying that's how it really went down for 50. I'm just saying this is my take. If he thought somebody was whack, then that person had to be whack. X out. That's it. No more. We don't fuck with that person. And then, for example, you see New York, the song, which was a great song. I love that song.
Another great beat.
Fat Joe, Jada get on it, and all of a sudden, Fat Joe and Jada become persona non grata. And we don't fuck with them no more either. Because they did a song with Ja? Listen, you hear that beat, you don't want to rap?
Oh, of course.
I'm pretty sure Fat Joe and Jada said, this beat is hard. I'm eating this beat. Song came out, and I think it bothered him even more that the song was fire.
Yeah.
That song was fire. And he didn't like that shit. And now Fat Joe and Jada are two people we don't fuck with. So now it's Ja, Fat Joe, Jada, and whoever else.
It's also the way that Ja started it. Ya is pussy punani vagina.
And let me tell you something else. I'm pretty sure that other people, once 50 said fuck Jada, fuck Joe also, I'm pretty sure other people were like, well, damn, I can't work with those guys no more.
But you know what it's also like you stem it, so you start getting into the roots of things. You've been beefing with Ja this whole entire time. Now you go into Fat Joe and Jadakiss. Fat Joe is connected to DJ Khaled, to the whole Terror Squad, and then it starts going from there. Then you have Jadakiss, Rough Riders, Def Jam, and then it starts going. Fat Joe's connections get to Rick Ross. Rick Ross is super close with Wayne, and different eras. But you get what I'm saying. It starts stemming into different. Yeah, it starts branching out, and eventually you have a whole entire family tree of beef,
which is crazy.
But it's nuts. It's nuts. How can you make so? How can you be so? How can you be so cold?
Damn, baby.
Damn, 50. And out of nowhere, well, maybe not out of nowhere, because he's already beefed with everybody. He starts beef with Cameron, another borough, because people be like, "Oh no, he's beefing with people now. He's beefing with whole entire boroughs at this point." He starts beef with Cameron, which stems one of the more funnier lines you can say in a beef song.
He looked like a gorilla.
We're rabbit teeth.
You see, 50. I didn't even say that. Cam said that. Straight snitching.
He was beefing with everybody, bro.
Snitching on something people already know about.
Right? Yeah, that's nuts. That's gross. That is gross. But it's it's amazing to me. And that's and I would say that too, just to tie it in everything and to finalize with the G Unit conversation. That doesn't help when this business, when hip hop has always been, I wouldn't say inclusive, but hip hop has never had a 50 Cent before in terms of beefing with everybody type of thing. You are the first and probably only person that will beef with everybody. So you can go down in history as that. So all that beef also, I would count that as a negative because no longer can Lloyd, Yayo, Buck, they can't get features anymore because you're beefing with everybody. They can't go out and help themselves grow as artists. There's no more collabs. You can't collab. It's just you and them. But back to 50 and Cameron.
I will say one thing about 50. I definitely feel like there was people that were scared of him. There were people that wanted no smoke with 50.
Of course.
Because 50 had the ability to end your career.
It would take him a while.
It doesn't matter. But how many other rappers can say that? I can finish you off like this to this point.
Shit. Not many. Cameron allowed his people, regardless of all the tiffs that they had, all the fights, you know, it's group shit, it's man shit, everybody's going to fight. It's never always going to be kumbaya. But to the contrary, Cameron allowed every popular member in Dipset to branch out and flourish.
That was a big camp. I was obsessed with Dipset.
That was a hard camp.
Remember, you would, well, not you, but there was somebody else that would always take G and I'd be like, nah, I'm running
No,
with Dipset.
that was me. That was me.
You.
That
you
was
always
me.
ride out with G and I would always ride out with Dipset.
Definitely. But it's what's it called? Because I always thought that it's hard. Now thinking about it in hindsight, I was tripping. I was bugging out. But I always thought that it was better, that G-Unit was just better because they had 50. That was always my mindset. But like thinking about it now.
And my mindset was, yeah, but we got Cameron.
Jewels was on fire.
There you go.
Mic check. Whistle. Jim Jones had ballin'.
Oh, that was a little bit later.
It was of course, but I'm just saying they were allowed to branch out and kind of grow as individual artists.
Remember, I really mean it. What
Yes.
a song!
What a song!
What a song!
They were allowed to branch out, so it's like it's actually the tale of two halves. You have one group that is extremely talented with a genius at the helm. And I would qualify Cameron as being a genius, at least from a business perspective. Remember, what was it called? The purple drink? Was it scissor? No, it wasn't scissor.
That might have been what it was called.
Was it scissor? I can't confirm. But it was, Cameron was one of the first artists and or groups that were either, I don't know if they owned it. I'm pretty sure that he owned a certain part. They had their own drink. Which is amazing because back then at that point in time, it was like unfathomable.
Yeah, you want to say that one more time? Run that back again.
Unfathomable. Unfathomable.
Yeah, it was called Scissor.
It was called Scissor? Okay, so I was
Purple
right.
Punch Liquor.
Purple Punch. Yo, Cameron, if you don't get this dirty
Yo, you see how irresponsible our parents were? How do we know about this? We were like 12.
Scissor. Purple drink. That's the original purple drink. Whatever Dave Chappelle's talking about in that one commercial, it was scissor in the fridge.
That wasn't a commercial.
I'm sorry, in the comedy special. But it was the Sunny D commercial. That's why. But yeah, which also, and we're not gonna keep on going about this way, but versus. I'm gonna tie this all into a nice little bow for you. Dipset versus G-Unit
Would be amazing.
They would never do it.
They would never do it. Well,
Because of
no,
tension.
let me put it like this. 50 would never do it.
50 wouldn't do any of those. That's the
50
crazy
wouldn't
part.
do it.
And 50 being alongside, again, from last episode, one of the dudes with a catalog.
I think you could do maybe, I think he'd be willing to do maybe a one-on-one, like a 50 and Cameron, which I think, unfortunately, as much as I hate to admit this, but 50 would win. The reason I hate to admit it is because I was a big fan of Dipset. I was a big fan of G-Unit, but I loved Dipset.
Would 50 win, though?
50 would win. 50 would win. I think a better matchup for Cameron would probably be Fat Joe. And in that case, I think Cameron would win. And
Against Joe?
against Fat Joe.
I would disagree.
Listen. We're not gonna get into it because we could be on this for an hour. But
But
think what you think. I think what I think.
I think
50 versus Cam. 50 is taking it. Cam versus Joe. Fat Joe. Cam is taking it. That's just how I see it. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. That's fine. But that's just how I see it.
I think the inclusion of DJ Khaled into Fat Joe gives them an edge over almost everybody. And one day I will have the conversation of how great Fat Joe's catalog is.
Fat Joe is great.
Well, not today.
But I think people know Fat Joe is great.
I think people just like Pun. He kind of gets slept on because Biggie, Pun, and Pac. Pun is always the outlier. Same thing with Fat Joe. Fat Joe is always the outlier, just because he's white.
Fat Joe is great though. He's not white.
I know he's not white. He's Puerto
guess,
Rican.
Yeah, but
he
is great though. Fat
Joe's amazing. Fat Joe's amazing. Like you gotta go, like just go into your iTunes and look at his catalog.
But back to G Unit and Dipset. Who do you think is taking that?
That's hard. Cause here's the thing.
I think G Unit has more mainstream hits.
Yeah, but sometimes when it comes to verses, it ain't about the mainstream hits.
Well, it kind of has.
It all depends on the vibe. Remember Jadakiss.
The underground stuff doesn't reach the masses the way mainstream does.
Correct.
That's literally the point.
But here's the thing. I think so. Here's the what's it called? Okay, so let me paint it to you this way. I'm killing this shit right now, son, and I don't even got the waffy to. If you don't know what coffee, I call coffee waffy sometimes. So. Learn to live with it.
Get with it.
I'm gonna paint this picture. 50 as one person can potentially win this battle. Because I believe him to have a catalog.
With a K.
With a K. Here's the issue with that. Dipset. If it's a 4-on-4, who would be the fourth member of Dipset?
What do you mean a 4-on-4?
It'd be a 4-on-4. So it would be 50.
Well, no, why can't you just bring the whole anybody who was ever associated? You could be, I would
yeah,
love
but it's
to
not everybody
20,
associated.
Imagine a 20.
Like, what is J.R. Ryder doing in a versus
you
battle?
have to bring J.R. Ryder.
No,
you're not leaving out J.R.
I'm not.
Ryder.
J.R. Ryder stays out.
Hell Rel could stay out.
Yo, none of them even have records like that. Like
you're not leaving out J.R. Ryder. Probably the best spitter in the whole camp.
No disrespect. But y'all don't got hits like that. So why am I bringing
But he is the
verses?
best spitter in the whole camp.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
My
and
opinion.
Hell Rel was nice too.
Ace's opinion.
It's weird. I do believe dudes to be nice.
So okay, to paint it, you were saying that on one side of the room would be Cam, Juelz,
Jim, and who would be the fourth member?
Are you saying that there's only one spot available and we have to pick?
And do we count Game into the G Unit?
No, because
we don't put Game.
Definitely not doing. No, he's
okay. He's definitely not gonna do a versus, but
he's not gonna go. I don't think 50 Cent wants him to.
It's okay. So
it might be on 3-on-3. It might be 50, Buck, and Banks. The original, the original that we got to know.
Yeah.
At first, because even on Beg for Mercy, it was just them three on the cover. Yayo was locked up.
Yeah.
So really, the three you grew up. Well, it wasn't. I say grew up like it was so many years, but the three you originally got introduced to, if counting 50, was 50, Buck, and Banks. So if you want to keep it original, I think it'd be a 3-on-3, and then it'd be Cameron, Juelz, and Jim. You cannot use individual songs. It has to be Dipset G Unit songs.
No, that would be cheating. You can't do that.
If you do it the other way around, 50 they're gonna win.
That's what I said.
Fair.
But here's what I'm saying. This is the point I was trying to paint. You grab if you go individual member by individual member, Dipset wins. If you go 50 versus Cameron, 50 wins. If you go member towards member, Dipset wins.
You do Cameron
versus 50, 50
You do Cameron 50 wins.
Okay.
You do Banks and Jim. I'm sorry, but I think Banks is taking that.
No, because it wouldn't be Banks versus Jim. It would be Banks versus Jewels.
I still think Banks is taking
I don't
it.
think Banks is beating Jewels.
And then you do Jewels and Buck, and then yes,
Jewels at
wins.
one point was considered one of the, like, at one point.
No, I don't say what you're about to say. I think he was up there, that people loved his music. I don't think he was ever considered one of the greatest
Over
rappers.
Banks? What's Banks' biggest hit?
Are you telling me that
No.
In your heart of hearts.
Of course
In
not.
your heart of hearts,
But
you
it's
believe
not
that
up to
Joel
me.
Santana spits
It's
better
not
than-
up to me. That's the thing. When Mic Check comes on, what's happening?
the place might go wild. But
What,
are you
the
gonna do when
whistle
On Fire?
song?
What are you doing on Fire comes on?
That's what I was gonna ask. Would we go Stay Fly? Would we go On Fire? Which one of those? And I still think Mic Check beats that.
Mic Check might beat that.
And I love On Fire, but isn't On Fire a G-Unit record? 50's
No.
on Fire, right? No, On Fire's just Banks.
I think on Fire's just Banks, yeah.
Remember I'm a Warrior?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a Warrior was dope. Yo, it's really, it's hard because Mic Check, the whistle song, Jewels has some shit.
I don't think
It's as easy as the way you're saying it. I think you're being disrespectful to Jewels. And it's funny because if anything, I'm the G-Unit guy and you're the Dipset guy.
I don't know, bro. What do you do when Beamer, Benz, and Bentley comes on? That's a dub for Banks.
I would put Beamer, Benz, and Bentley with the song that Jewels has with Lil Wayne. God damn it, I can't remember the name of the song. I wish I had the name of the song right now so I could kill your ass.
Remember Cake? What about I love Cake?
Oh, I love Cake was the song. Hands Up was one of my joints. Okay, now I'm thinking about it back now. I gotta take it away.
Banks is taking it versus Jewels.
I don't think it's so simple though. I think right now, because you should be the one defending Jewels because you know his catalog more.
Yeah, but individually, but I've always stuck up with the guy who can rap.
That's true.
I'm gonna have to go Banks, and I get it. Rapping doesn't mean you have more hits out here. It doesn't. But Lloyd Banks was one of those rare people that could rap his ass off, but also had hits.
Jewels also had hits and could also rap his ass off though.
Not like Banks.
Okay.
Few people rap like Banks.
Well, I know. We had the.
Would you say Banks was the best rapper in G Unit?
Definitely.
There you go. But
But that's not
But
hard.
Jewels wasn't the best rapper in Dipset.
Who was the best rapper in Dipset? Oh,
Probably J.R. Ryder.
I feel
Bars.
bad.
Just bars, just straight rap. I'm not saying something, just bars, just spitting.
I always felt like what can G Unit put up against Best Out? Because that beat is hard.
Probably anything.
That beat is hard, and we love it. But
My buddy.
as groups, the Dipset anthem. My buddy.
Remember my buddy.
My buddy is hard.
I actually remember, like you're not gonna remember. You remember.
What?
My buddy.
Oh, my buddy, of course.
Yeah,
the Scarface.
but yeah, man,
sample at
G
the
Unit.
start.
We're going
I
too
mean, the
long with this.
Scarface.
G Unit and Dipset would be a thing.
It would be great.
That would be great. Even if you knew for a fact who was gonna win and you were right, it would still be entertaining to watch.
You know what the funny part is? I don't think between them, I don't think they have 20. I think they could do 10-10.
No, I'll give them 15. I think they could do 15-15.
15 records?
Yeah, I think
That they have, not counting their individual. Because if you're keeping it the way that you want to put it, as in just group projects, I don't think they have 15. Stunt 101, My Buddy. Where else do we go there? Do we count Hate It or Love It? Because Hate It or Love It is technically G Unit. It was 2 members, even though Game wasn't part of it.
I guess you could count that.
And then they did the remix that had everybody on it.
Which means you would have to count Santana's Town because I had 2 members, didn't it?
Yeah.
I'll say
Remember
one thing.
Bandana?
I'll say one thing for
Remember
Jewels.
Bandana?
Yeah. I'll say one thing
Jesus.
for Jewels. He had his beat selection was up there. Great beats. Just Dipset in general had great beats.
I hate how you did that though. You took my side and knowing that I don't know Joel's catalog, you kind of ruined the. I don't like that.
But to be
you should have
honest, I
taken
don't know
Joel's side.
Joel's
I would have
catalog.
been. I know Banks's catalog. What's it called? A lot more than I know Joel's.
So you should have just agreed with me then.
No, I don't want to agree with you.
What is wrong with this man?
Oh man,
We're here to agree.
Jim Jones has Ballin'.
I think you could use that. That's 3 of them.
Is it 3 of them?
Oh no, wait, no.
Jim Jones.
I think
The
Joel's
remix has. I think has.
Yeah. I think
There's three of them in the video.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about the video. I'm thinking about the video.
Oh man. Yo,
Somebody else is in that song with Jim Jones though. I don't know if it's either Cam or Joel's.
Jim Jones has some shit, and Jim Jones is the most active member. He's been releasing music almost every single year.
That last album was
Hard,
really good.
really dope. We've been on this for a no minute though, but I think I guess the consensus would be that G Unit wins, correct?
Yeah.
And if we were to give it a score, it'd probably be. I said they only have 10 records that they could do, like 10 notable records each that they could do, where they're all part
Well,
of
they're
it.
probably gonna end up playing even the ones that you don't know. So let's give them
Yeah.
15 then. Let's say if they could do 15.
15. I say that it would probably go. See, when you lower down the number of records that they can play, it gets a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
It gets way more interesting when you lower down the amount of records they can play. Because even though they might have bigger hits, I think that Dipset also has a lot of like smaller hits than what G Unit does. I think G Unit has a lot of Stunt 101, like, you know, those type of hits. Popping Them Things. Popping Them Things was all of G Unit, correct?
I think so.
They have bigger records like that. I think Dipset might have the smaller, like their smaller wins might still be wins. Like when you get over the bigger records that they both each have. So 10 might be a lot more interesting than 15. But if we do a 15, I can see. This might sound a little flagrant, a little disrespectful, but a 9-6, 9-6 G Unit.
I see that.
9-6 G Unit, or maybe if you wanna, an 8-7, maybe.
But it'd probably be 9-6.
It would probably be 9-6, and if anything, probably 10-5. Jesus Christ.
There was a point where
I had G Unit shirts.
that's what I was gonna say. I would not be caught dead in a G Unit shirt.
Fam, I had G Unit shirts. I think at one point I had a pair of shoes from 50.
Why not? You have that shit.
I couldn't afford it.
Yo, you keep with this broke narrative.
After giving you guys a great 20 minutes.
Was it 20?
A great something along those lines. It has to be at least 20 minutes.
Y'all better be grateful.
Very compelling Dipset G Unit beef.
We do this for y'all.
Or music.
Who do we do it for?
For y'all.
For y'all.
I don't know who y'all is.
Yeah, because there's nobody listening. But
But let's talk about the NBA. And there's some spice going on in the NBA. I like it when the NBA is spicy because they try their best to not be spicy, but they definitely went ahead and created some spice. So if you are unaware, if you're not really following basketball like that, maybe you don't like the protests, whatever the hell the case may be. We have some very spicy conversation. Okay, so Miami is up 2-0 against the Bucks. If you aren't aware, the Bucks have Giannis Antetokounmpo, also known as the Greek Freak, also known as the MVP of last year, and quite possibly might be Defensive Player of this year as well. They already gave him the award, and might be the MVP this year as well, even though I would give it to LeBron. And funny how I talk about LeBron, how I just bring up LeBron, because we're gonna bring him up. He's gonna make an appearance later too. So it's 2-0 in the bubble. Jimmy Butler, my guy. Jimmy Butler dropped 40 in the first game, and then sealed the deal by hitting 2 free throws to win the game on a very controversial call at the end of the game. From Giannis' standpoint, he, according to the way that you look at the video, Giannis kind of bumps into. There's a little bit of contact there while Jimmy's taking a jump shot to tie the game, and they called a foul at the end of regulation with zero seconds on the clock. I say this all to say, a lot of Richard Jefferson, who I like, played for the Nets, won a championship with LeBron. Richard Jefferson said on ESPN, Giannis might be a Robin, or Giannis might be Pippen. those were the exact words. Giannis might be Pippen, and he might need a Jordan to win a championship, which sparked a lot of controversy. Scottie Pippen goes in, he responds, "Who were you? If Giannis might be Pippen, because I don't think Giannis is Pippen." This is what Pippen said. "I don't think Giannis is Pippen. He might be. I never won MVP awards. I never won MVPs. I never did. I never won back-to-back MVPs because Pippen thinks that Giannis is gonna win a back-to-back MVP title with this year's MVP." And then he asks Richard Jefferson, "But who were you?
Keeping it spicy.
But who were you as a player?" Which is unfair. The Hall of Fame, the Basketball Hall of Fame, is one of the hardest things to get into. Out of all of the Hall of Fames, it might be one of the hardest. Not everybody gets into the Hall of Fame. And Pippen is a top tier player. And a lot of people would say that's a great, like if you're a Pippen won 6 chips, had a Nike deal. Of course, if you watch The Last Dance, his contract was one of the worst contracts ever concocted in the NBA. But we understand what it means. It means that you're a Robin. It means that you're the second man. It means that you are basically a sidekick. We understand what it means. Jay Williams then goes and says, "Hey, LeBron was a sidekick to Dwayne Wade." Which then prompts LeBron to say, "Hey, yo, what the fuck do I have to do with any of this? I'm over here minding my business, trying to get ready for Houston. And y'all bring me into this." And then he adds, "Hey, I've never been anybody but myself. King shit." I'm paraphrasing here. You could go look up the tweet. So I say that, and it's funny. It's kind of strange. I understand that, and I'm not gonna go ahead, and I'm not gonna keep on going with this, you guys. But I don't think that comparison is a bad comparison. It's true. Not everybody can be Kobe. Not everybody can be clutch. Not everybody can finish the deal. Not everybody can have that killer instinct. Giannis had almost, if I'm not mistaken, either almost had a triple-double or had a triple-double in the last game. It's okay. And you're going up against a Miami team that is particularly constructed to hit a lot of three-pointers, defend, and also has a very clutch player in Jimmy Butler. And rumors are swirling. Giannis might be coming to Miami. If Giannis decides to leave Milwaukee, the Miami Heat might be their first place. Might be the first place he comes to. Also, they're saying that Joel Embiid might leave. If they might trade him, and Joel Embiid might come to Miami. I wouldn't say that. Don't pick up Joel Embiid. Not because he's not nice, but also because he has an injury history, and I don't think that would be the best thing. And I don't think Pat Riley would allow it either. But Giannis, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved Player of the Year, MVP of the Year. Like, Giannis has won almost every award, and he's not even like 25 yet. The Greek Freak is the Greek Freak. And the Greek Freak, all he needs is somebody, a guiding hand. So if he is a Robin to Jimmy Butler's Batman, which is okay, which is crazy thinking about it, that might be it. It's okay to be a Robin. I don't think bringing LeBron into this was really necessary. Poor LeBron. LeBron has been the most scrutinized player ever.
I don't think the tweet was necessary. I think
Which one? The original one by Richard Jefferson?
Yeah, I don't think Richard Jefferson believes that. I think Richard Jefferson put that out there because he knew that it would get people talking.
No, he might be right though. Giannis, that might be correct. Giannis might be a Robin.
I don't think so.
He's missing free throws. And not missing. He's airballing free throws. As the MVP of the league, he might be. Yo, not everybody can be clutch.
But to say a nah, get the fuck out of here. And get Richard Jefferson the fuck out of here too. I like Richard Jefferson, by the way.
Yo.
But my problem with the tweet was that I feel like he doesn't really believe. Like, he just said that. If you tweet something and the foundation of it can be perceived as an insult. That's like,
but
it's
I like
fine,
the word selection.
It's fine if you believe it, but I don't think he believes that. I think he put that out there so the timeline could go crazy, so it could get wild. That's my opinion. That's Ace's opinion.
It's really, I would have a hard time actually giving, like, kind of like saying, yeah, that's it, because I don't think anybody tweets out to go trending. I don't think anybody puts a tweet out to go trending.
I believe that's exactly what people do.
And it's funny, but I do like his words. He said I didn't say that I don't think that if you could look up the tweet, I don't think he said, I think he said could be.
Nope.
Okay, so here's the exact tweet. Giannis, but he said might be a Pippen. There, I said it. He needs his Jordan. And that could be it if Giannis goes to Miami, and I think that Jimmy would be Jordan, and Giannis might be Pippen.
Yo, this tweet would have been fly if Pippen would have tweeted this.
Well, Pippen responded.
How fly would that be? Hey,
that would have been a flex.
You're another Pippen. You're like me.
Pippen.
You're my son.
Giannis is, defend every position. Like, Giannis is a monster. But on some occasions, he has been shown to be clutch. But on some occasions, he kind of like he didn't defend Jimmy. Jimmy dropped 40, and he didn't defend Jimmy.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Let's use Batman and Robin, and then let's say tag team. The difference being that in a tag team, both are important, and Batman and Robin, there's clearly Robin is.
There's a clear difference, yes.
But you understand what I'm trying to say. And when you use the Batman and Robin example, one is clearly
superior.
Yes, right.
Yes. And
in a tag team, they're both important. Kobe and Shaq, is that Batman and Robin to you or tag team?
That's Batman and Robin to me. But it's okay. So, with all respect to the late Kobe Bryant, and again, the Batman and Robin, that it might be tag team too, because it's not like, if you look at their numbers, Kobe in their 3P was averaging like 27. Was averaging 27 and but it's clearly Batman and Robin because Shaq was the most dominant force ever seen in the NBA at that point in time. Like, if you look at their numbers, Shaq was like 34, 10 and 3 with like 4 assists. Like, it was absurd. His numbers were so amazing during those playoff series. Like, that might be the closest thing to a tag team. So I'll concede that much to you. I think forever within the NBA, it's always been Batman and Robin. Like, doesn't matter where you look at it. It's Batman and Robin, and then you have what's it called? But no, I can't say that. There has been tag teams before.
That's what the point I'm trying to make is, can't we at least say that maybe what Giannis needs is a partner instead of
they got
Batman?
Chris Middleton, and I remember talking to Jose, Jose being one of my friends. He was like, yo, Chris Middleton's nice. He's an all-star. I was like, Chris Middleton out of the crop of other all-stars, you're never picking Chris Middleton.
So then
as he is.
So then he doesn't really have a partner.
He doesn't have a partner to win a chip.
He doesn't have a partner.
He doesn't have a partner.
At the end of the day, that's the goal.
I pray that Giannis gets with Miami. Number one, Pat Riley's a madman. Every time I think of how Pat Riley has won championships as a player and as a coach, and New York had him, and all he wanted was a stake in New York, and he would have stayed. Every time I think about that, I cry for the Knicks.
I've said it before, and I have no problem saying it again. It is hard work being a Knicks fan. Hard work.
I pray that Giannis goes into Miami. That work ethic that Jimmy brings to the table, that grit, that determination, the psychological aspect from Pat Riley being that they call him the mafia boss. They call him the mob boss. And it's good. He's all smooth. Like, you ever seen Pat Riley looking smooth in a 2-piece suit? Looking like he just did a bunch of favors.
I really don't see Giannis being a Robin.
I would love for him to be a Jordan. I would love for him, but
No, but even
he's
just
close.
like I said, even just being a tag team where both people, it's a give and take, and every game they're just putting up.
There's really not that many tag teams though. They are rare. Like the way that my mind
I
just
think
went
Kobe
to
and Shaq were a tag team.
Magic and Kareem. That was a tag team.
What about Stockton and Malone?
That's a Batman and Robin. Stockton and Malone's a Batman and Robin. Stockton being Robin. As again, Stockton has the records for most assists and most steals ever in the NBA. Like all-time leader. But Malone is the second all-time scorer. Like there's a clear distinction on who's doing who. And not saying that Stockton was a bad player, Hall of Fame player. We already know.
Dirk and Steve.
They never did anything. I wouldn't count that as a.
Actually, yeah, another thing. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't know why.
They never did. They never did.
When they
much.
won, Steve Nash wasn't even there anymore.
But when Dirk won, Dirk had a solid Jason Kidd. He just had a really good crop of team. Like you can win if your system is built like that. Like when LeBron got to Miami, it was Dwayne Wade Batman and LeBron Robin. But then after that loss to Dallas, LeBron hit that breaking point and said, "I run this shit. I'm the greatest player in the NBA right now. Let me do this," and then went on to win 2 in a row. LeBron. I'm trying to think of other because there's really not that many tag teams that you had in Boston. You had the three-headed monster, KG, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce.
I think it's a bit different though.
Yeah, definitely. And then they started doing that. They started doing let's get 3 superstars and create a super team type shit. But it was for the most part, Kevin McHale. Then they did it again in Boston again before Kevin McHale, Larry Bird, and Robert Parrish.
You're skipping out an important one.
Which one?
What's his, Irving and James. And James was definitely Robin.
Irving and James.
LeBron and Kyrie. Remember LeBron was like Robin to Kyrie's Batman?
Did you just say James was definitely Robin? Yo, fam, I swear to God.
Only kidding. I'm only kidding. Let's talk jokes over here.
And people say that. Some people say, because the thing is, and you know what, and I'm going to finish with this. You know what the problem is? Everybody always equates Batman as the closer, as the Jordan build. But there's times that Robin saves Batman's ass. Like that's the problem with that. Like that's the, like they always have the closer being the, he's the alpha. Just because he closes. Like I've always said this. Hey, I will take Kobe the last 2 minutes of any game. But I would take LeBron the first 40 minutes. It's how many minutes are in a what's it called? I always forget. It's 12, 42. That's 48. I would take the rest of the game with LeBron. LeBron has always, well, early on in his career, has always defended his position and anything under his position and even power forwards. LeBron has done that. He's a great floor general. LeBron has always been a Swiss Army knife of greatness. The greatest Swiss Army knife you can find in Amazon. That's LeBron.
On Amazon. We need to check.
LeBron has always been that. But he's and I hate it because LeBron has also been a closer sometimes. What he did to Detroit, and I guess the sometimes is the problem with people.
That's the problem.
That it's not always him taking the last shot. That it's sometimes he's looking for the best play or the best shot possible instead of taking it himself. But we saw what he did to Orlando. Those 2 game-winning shots. Like, LeBron has been a closer. I hate the fact that people look at him and say, oh, he's not always been the closer. He has been a closer before.
You see that?
I digress.
Let's say 6 seconds on the clock. I'm passing the ball because I don't want to blame. You see them thinking like that?
A lot of people do think like that. But I also think that LeBron is such a basketball savant. Like, this man knows basketball. That sometimes he's like, why take this contested 3 with 2 people on top of me because they are going to double team me.
When that man is open.
Hey, I'll live with the results. I'll live with the blame. And that's what I love about LeBron. LeBron has always lived with the blame. Hey, I passed it. And they'd be like, what is Mario Chalmers out here taking a 3-pointer for? Hey, it's an open 3. Statistically, analytically, however you want to see it. Open 3, especially from like a specialist like Mario Chalmers was. I'm not just using his name. From a 3-point shooter, because in those type games, most of the time you will have an open 3-point shot when they're doubling you. Yeah. I don't know, man. I digress. Shout out to LeBron. Shout out to Richard Jefferson. Shout out to everybody. I thought this was an interesting like conversation that came out of nowhere. But shout out to them. Shout out to all the Batman and Robins, all the tag teams. Rest in peace, Kobe.
And you being the best.
The boy. Oh,
Tag
it's
team
not even a
champions.
question.
So all the women that left during the sports talk can return. We're done.
You're back.
We're talking about other things now. Has COVID ruined anything for you?
For me personally,
Yeah. Like, once again, we've established that we're cool with being home. That's not the problem, but just maybe other things. For example, for me, I hate the way it's pushed movies that maybe I'm very interested in, I'm really excited about, further back because they're hoping that people are going to go to the movies to watch them. I don't like going to the movies, so that's not where it's affecting me. Where it's affecting me, it's the wait to finally get it on DVD or to be able to buy it once it's out of the movies.
so okay. We might have just like gotten into a really deep topic. So follow me here. All right. I'm going to take us to the promised land. You give me your hand. I'll take you to the promised land. Take me. I'll get the fuck out of here. Yo.
You see that had you back there. Fuck you.
Yo, like when it comes to certain things, and I'm going to keep it a beam with you guys. Do we really need movies? I ask. This is just a simple question. Do
Like,
we really need
you
movies?
mean theaters, like movie
Do
theaters?
do we need movie theaters? Not saying again, if the removal of movies will remove one of my date options, I can't be out here just taking y'all to some of the best restaurants ever and running up a bill. No thank you, bitch. You're gonna get popcorn, you're gonna get this movies, and that's it.
And some M&Ms.
And maybe if you behave yourself, we might go after to get some ice cream.
Listen,
Look at my,
this man is talking wild. I don't condone any of this.
That is a cool $50.
You are one. Listen, you in this broke narrative. Keep it. That's fine. Keep it going.
I am not out here dropping $100 because you want to try some expensive wine.
You're really not helping the situation. Or better yet, you're creating a situation.
Oh man, movies. It's a whole entire industry, and the death of that industry would be negative in terms of jobs, in terms of they would have a negative effect on the economy. And I don't think that we're near the end of movies just yet. But the way that the projection of digital media has been, the growth of it has been so substantial, there is going to be a point where we're just not out here movie watch. Like, we're just not out here going to theaters anymore.
Here's the thing. I feel like that's one of those things that's dangerous because as it is, like, we're not exclusive to the, like, it's not just me and you thinking, hey, being inside
It's actually pretty cool.
is,
It's
shit
not
is
that
lit.
bad.
I love being home. I could take a shit whenever I love being home. That shit is
Look at
important.
you excited. Excited.
That shit is important. Closing movie theaters, I believe, is dangerous because you're now giving more people more of an excuse to stay inside. You need sun, man. Go outside. See, that I'll go outside for. Just for like a couple of minutes, take in some sun, come back inside, and other things too. But all I'm saying is you can't, these things that people like that are an outing, that people make a thing out of, like families, oh, let's have a movie night, dates. I think it's a dangerous idea to take them away from people.
Oh yeah, that's facts. I would agree. With
Malls are already dying.
that. Malls
Shopping
are-
malls, you know what I mean? So
Them shits
people
look like
used to go to the
deserts.
mall to hang out. Remember those days?
Yeah.
To hang, not even to shop, to hang out. So I think it's a very dangerous idea. I don't even like to think about it, to be honest with you.
I feel that.
I think you should leave movies alone. Not you, but
Not me personally,
but in general, just let movies rock. Let them do their thing. Now, if it comes to the point where it's not viable anymore, where they're losing money, then yeah, I mean, close them down. What are you gonna do? Keep losing money? No. But if they're doing okay and not in the red, as they say, leave them up.
yeah, leave them up.
It's a thing.
I think they're gonna have to find a better way to do a better thing. I think malls are like becoming a second world type of thing.
Everybody's shopping online.
Yeah,
Like people are hardly going. I don't know.
it does kind of.
Remember how fun it was to
sours
go to
the
Toys R
moment.
Us?
It sours the moment.
And that's just an example, like, of one thing. Probably plenty of other things that we could have used as a better example, but that's what
There's something to be
came
said
to
about
mind.
environment and just vibes that you get from being in certain places. So, for example, some of you guys, this might sound like an old head type of shit, but some of you guys might not remember what it felt like to go to Blockbuster and find the right movie to watch.
It was awesome.
It was awesome, and mainly because we didn't know all the movies that were being released.
There
We
was
didn't
no
know what was
YouTube.
out.
There was no YouTube.
There was no YouTube. There was no trailers every 30 seconds. There wasn't somebody throwing some type of propaganda in your face. Like, we didn't know, so it was almost an
there was
experience.
less movies also too.
Oh, of course as
Like,
well. There
coming
wasn't
out-
that much money in not like
Well,
as much as it is now.
Oh, okay.
Like,
there we
there's
go.
mad money in now. Anybody can fund a movie on OnlyFans. nah.
Listen,
Well,
we're not
bump
yet.
Kickstarter.
We're
no
not getting
Kickstarter.
we're not getting into OnlyFans, man. We're not doing that today.
You can find any type of movie on OnlyFans.
But yeah, so you still haven't told me.
In terms of, I can't see my bitches no more.
Oh, here we go.
Oh man, I am going to hell. But in all seriousness, what it's taken away,
Or maybe not taken away, but ruined.
basketball. I can't go to the gym, can't play basketball. Like, people be like, oh, you can still go to the gym, just wear your mask, fam. You know how
uncomfortable.
I'm trying to breathe heavy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to breathe heavy in
Or
two
even at the park,
occasions.
because the park next to our house is closed.
Yeah. So I'm trying to breathe heavy in two occasions. I'm trying to breathe heavy after a set, and I'm trying to breathe heavy when I see a fat ass walk by. I'm a creepy dude. Be like, God damn.
If y'all not listening,
I'm
bro, I
going to
get it.
hell. I apologize. But it's all the damn jokes. It's shopping in general, like Target has all these rules and all these, like, of course, wear your mask. Everybody wear your mask. But goddamn, how do you guys paint arrows on the floor and kind of direct traffic?
Well, you have to. That's how they're keeping shit safe.
And they'd be like, well, I get that in the line. If you in the line, you put markers. Okay, this is 6 feet. Markers, CDC rules, all SDC rules, whatever the hell the case may be. Markers on the floor so everybody could be split. I get that
think
part,
it's
but
easier to control social distance. Not that they need to control social distance, but it's easier to enforce social distancing when you can guide traffic in a certain
Fam,
direction.
I be them
No,
markers
you
don't
be all over the
shit.
fucking place,
Fam, they be markers pointing the other way.
and you're going the opposite.
I'm going the opposite. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about these. You don't take this damn blue tape off the floor. But other than that, like, it's just shopping in general, like just going to normal stores, making sure that everybody has masks. Like, I just watched, like, it's to the point where I'm like legit like blocking social media sites that just like, it's just so much negativity. Guy in local Walmart isn't allowed in, so he throws a fit. Like, it's just so much like little meaningless shit. Just wear your goddamn mask. Like, now we got anti-maskers. Like, fam, look at what we're doing in 2020. 2020 is nuts. Anti-maskers? Fam, oh man, it's just a lot of bullshit. So besides the fact I can't see
Your
shorties.
bitches.
I can't see shorties. I
That
can't
is
see
the
shorties. I
funniest thing I've
can't.
ever heard.
I look like the only psychopath in Target. I'm the only one doing it, not following all the rules and shit. And I just put the meme mug face on. They'd be like, "Oh, we should leave him alone." Be
looks
scared as hell.
Dangerous.
Yeah. So it's besides that, like, of course the movies, but then, like, for example, the video game industry, which is one of my favorite industries, hasn't been affected.
Yeah,
It's
that's
actually been
booming.
that's booming. Like, they just they not only projected large sales, but they've also shown how much they sold in like the last following months. It's huge. Everybody's at home. Everybody's trying to find something to do. Video games have been nothing but profitable during 2020. Traveling.
I wonder how many couples, like I'm talking about, like the ones that live together, have broken up during COVID just because they can't.
This shit is nuts. They can't stand each other anymore.
Yeah, because they have to be inside all day together.
That shit is nuts. It is not small. It's not a small number. Not a small number whatsoever.
Thank God I didn't go into this in a relationship.
Oh my God.
Shit was dangerous.
That shit would have been nuts, right? At the start of COVID, going into the relationship, or
To be honest,
moving in together.
To be honest,
that
knowing
would
me, I probably
suck.
would have broke. Even if I was, I would have just been like, listen, we can't do this. I'm not staying in with
No,
you.
but moving in during that point in time, during the COVID, when COVID started, and then realizing I ain't meant to be, but you can't go anywhere.
But maybe that might have saved some, because imagine they
Oh, yeah,
didn't
the
go
opposite
through
must
that
be true, too.
and they got married or something like that, and then they realized after all that expense, hey, I hate you.
No, but I think the opposite might have happened as well. They weren't really spending enough time together.
That can also
They were
be true.
growing distant, and then the automatic influx of hours in close proximity might have been like, "Yo, now I remember why I love you."
Raw sex.
I was gonna go with just the way you make dinner was.
Oh, you
popping.
weren't gonna go with sex.
I wasn't gonna go with raw sex. No. No, I'm broke and my dick don't work.
Yo, what is good with this show? I'm not doing this shit no more.
Oh man,
That's probably
jokes.
No, that's not jokes.
Oh, it's not. My dick really don't work.
That is
Oh,
if
man.
there was ever a time to close out a show, that's probably it right there.
Oh, we're closing it on dick not working.
No, don't repeat that shit.
Erectile dysfunction.
I don't know what this is doing.
Shout out to all the erectile dysfunctioners out there. We love y'all.
Viagra gonna cut the check.
Viagra, Cialis, all of them gonna cut the check.
Listen to who we shout out. Anyways,
It's a
man,
nasty ass shout out.
that's it for us today. Listen to everything you got in one episode.
Oh, thank you guys for watching.
Once again, episode 4.
Oh my God.
That's a wrap for episode 4.
My brother. Oh, one time before we leave. Definitely. Yo, I'm a. Yo, the nastiest
You're a
close out.
nasty man.
Oh,
I
man,
hope
that
everybody
was
out there
fun.
stays
I'm
safe.
crying over here.
Speaking about COVID, wear your mask, social distance.
Jesus Christ.
Fellas, I know you see some beautiful thing outside and you want to approach, but just, keep that distance. In fact, if you could yell at her,
Hey, yo, I think you look good.
if you can swing that, I need to hear that story.
Right?
The man who yelled his way into a woman's phone.
Hey, yo, we can't be in close proximity, but I think you fine as hell.
There you go. That's how I would do it.
Yo.
That's how I would do it.
Oh, man.
Nah, Ayo always works.
Hey, yo, definitely worse. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to
And for
subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check us out on all DSP, Spotify, Podcast, Google Cast, all of that. We're not on iTunes yet, but you can definitely check us out. As soon as we put that up, we'll let you guys know. Links are all down in the description below. As always, you guys,
Love, peace, and chicken grease, baby.
signing off.